Welcome to my show, Brands, the brains behind the brand. And today I'm extremely happy to have a very dear friend, Nikhil, on my show. Welcome to my show, Nikhil.
Thanks for having me, bro. How you been? It's been a
Also
long
great.
time. It's good
Yeah,
to
yeah,
connect once
yeah.
again.
So Nikhil is popularly known as DJ NYK, but today we'll not be talking about DJ NYK, but we'll be talking about the brand NYK. Nikhil needs no introduction and has been one of the pioneers in revolutionizing the electronic music in the Bollywood genre, as well as he does a lot of global originals. Many of you would know Nikhil as a great musician, as a great DJ, as a great producer, but today we are going to do something very different and very fun. I'll be going in conversation with Nikhil about how NYK became such a big brand. Thank you, Nikhil, for finding the time. Once again, I welcome you to the show.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you, Kay.
Okay, Nikhil, before going into our set of questions, let me ask you the last 1.5, 2 months we have been all locked down.
All right.
So how was this 1.5, 2 months for you?
Honestly, as a producer, life is still the same because you've been a producer, music producer yourself. You know how it is. All the music producers always locked in their studio and they're making music day and night. So that's what's been happening with me. The life has remained pretty much the same. It's just that I cannot step out. Otherwise, all the pressures, the stress, everything is there. The workload is there. A lot of projects that I'm working on. But it's pretty much the same. Just that I haven't stepped out of my house since 18th March.
Do you miss your gigs?
My gigs, of course, bro. Of course, I miss
But do
touring.
you wait to get back on the deck?
Sorry? Yes, yes, yes. As soon as possible.
Right.
But this is
Okay.
something, this is something I was missing because I was touring. I wasn't able to spend much time in the studio. So I
Yeah.
guess now is the time.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people have actually taken this very positively, and
Yep.
many things that they always wanted to do could not do because of time.
Mhm.
They prefer doing it during this lockdown period.
Right, right.
And
Absolutely.
the whole objective of this show is to help the people who are looking at building brands.
Right.
So now all the questions would be more directed towards how you built NYK to such a big brand. Okay, now
Sure.
the first question
Hmm.
also is that what is your personal understanding or perception about brand?
Uh, I think branding is something that helps an artist build this persona. It's not just the music that an artist needs to focus on. It's the persona that he builds around his music. That's very important because your fans, your listeners are not just going to buy your music. They also buy the persona, the complete package that comes with it. So I feel that comes with branding. So branding is really important for every artist, whether they're just starting out. Some people think that they're just starting out, so branding is not important. But branding actually begins when you're starting your career as an artist. So it is very, very important. And I think it's the key to build a very loyal fan base and making a consistent income from music.
Right. So I really like that statement of loyal fan base because I also believe that branding is something that brings loyalty to you, to your brand. And branding is
Right.
profession, and you have done so well in creating such a amazing perception about yourself to your loyal customers,
Thank you. Thanks.
your fans basically in this industry. And branding is also a promise, and you've always delivered. You've always done great music all this while, and I'm sure that's why you have so many fans always loving you all the time.
Right, right. I was making music first. I was a part of the school band actually. First, I was playing instruments. I used to play the drum, and then I used to play the keyboard, and then yes, so DJing is something that happened to me on the way. Yes.
Okay, nice. So normally, a lot of DJs start as a DJ and then get into production, but I
Right.
remember very well that you were in production first and then you wanted to DJ. It's very nice actually.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking for a medium to share my productions with people. I was making music, but how do I share it with the masses? And DJing is something that I found a platform where an artist can share his music with a lot of people at the same time. Because internet wasn't that big when I started out. There were only a couple of websites that allowed us to upload music and share it on forums. So DJing
Right.
was that one medium for me to share my music productions with people. That's how I got into being a DJ.
Oh, very nice. So you were saying that you started off being a DJ with the purpose of sharing the music that you're creating,
Right.
right? It's a very noble cause actually. It's a very strong purpose also.
Hmm.
And I've always seen that, brands with a very strong purpose have always done so well because the whole story is so strong. It comes not just from the factor that, you want to earn money out of DJing, but it
Right,
started off
right.
with a very strong purpose of
It needs
what
to be
very much.
very, you need to be very driven if you want to make a brand. I don't think if you want to be looking for fame or money, I don't think that's the right way. You won't be able to build a very strong brand if that's your main focus. Branding, I
Right.
think it stems out of your passion for that particular business, as you may call it, or your art or your craft. That's how it's done, I feel.
As you rightly said, branding is done only through being vehement. You have to be very passionate about what you are doing, right? I'm sure you would have realized throughout the whole journey, you would have to be consistent all the time.
First and foremost, that's, I mean, like, just being a musician or a DJ, you won't be able to cut through into this industry. You need to work as a brand, as a business. It's not just an artist, it's the whole persona, like I said. So there are a lot of things to be considered when you're marketing yourself on the internet or in public. When you meet people, you have to present yourself in a certain way that builds your brand. The way you talk, or the way you dress up as a DJ. There's so many things that you need to look into.
Everything about the brand has to be impactable. It has to be spot on, right?
Absolutely spot on, and you have to be very conscious about it.
So all the new DJs who are looking forward to being DJs, this is something very useful tip for you that it's good to be passionate. I'm sure all the DJs are very passionate about music, but you need to look into the business angle of DJing as well to be successful.
Absolutely, we are in the music business. A lot of people forget the fact that this is called the music business, so
Very
it has
right.
to be treated in that way. I think you need to strike a balance between art and craft and business side of things.
Right.
Don't be completely looking at business or making money. You need to strike a right balance.
Right. So now we know how DJ NYK started. He started the purpose of sharing his music with his fans and friends, and then he got into DJ. I'm going to go to the next question now.
Hmm.
Nikhil, when everybody starts a career, they have some goals in mind. So when
Hmm.
it comes to a brand, we call it a vision. So
Hmm.
when you started, did you have any such thing in your mind?
Like a vision or my goals when I started out? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, yes, yes.
So just like any other aspiring DJ producer, I wanted to be numero uno, the number one DJ in India, and be considered as one. So I was lucky. I won the award 3 times
Good for you.
for the best Bollywood DJ in India. So by God's grace, I was able to accomplish that goal when I started out. Then other was to have a very big fan base. So
Right.
over the years, I've been able to gather millions of fans all across my social media. So
Yes,
that dream also came true. Then later on, I wanted to score for Bollywood movies. So that
yes.
dream also came true. That goal also came true. I've scored for 17 Bollywood movies. And then I had a dream to open my merch store, the merchandise. That's where the branding, came in. I was at a stage in my career where, I had already built a decent brand of almost 8 years, I suppose. So that's when I started researching into how my merch store should look like, how the branding of it should be done. So this is really important because when I was doing my merchandise, I didn't just took a T-shirt and printed my logo on it.
Uh,
I did a lot of research because I knew this is a tangible way for my fans to connect with me. So I
Right.
really put in a lot of research and hard work into it. It took me 3 years just to set up and bring everything together, the whole production of T-shirts, the way it's printed. I learned all the printing processes like screen printing or digital printing. So basically, I was very naive when I started out. So I made a design with an international designer, which had like 13 colors in it. And I didn't know the printing process. Like you get charged for every color. So the production cost was really high. So I
Right.
had to figure out a way. So there was digital printing. That was the solution where they put the T-shirts into a printer, just like how we print paper. They put a T-shirt and gets printed, like how an
Right.
inkjet printer prints. So a lot of research went into it. The write-ups that I did, like I don't know whether you can see, there's a box behind this one. So
Okay.
it was a proper box. Boxing was done, the logos and the write-up behind the box. It was like a journey, the way it's a tangible asset for the fan. The way he opens it, it's an experience for him. It's just not a T-shirt with my logo on it. So that was another dream that I worked upon. So the merch store has T-shirts, uh, snapbacks, and then some of them were imported from England as well. Then their mugs, their uh, phone covers. There's a lot.
Nice.
So I'll be working on the new merch this year.
Okay.
Then so that dream also came true. Took me 3 years, 3 long years, but all worth it. Like you say, branding is very important. So this is where all the branding. You saw a lot of effective branding taking place when I was working on the merch, and
Right.
then later on I moved on to electronic music, also exploring my capabilities as an artist. I was always known for Bollywood music, but I
Right.
come from a very strong electronic music background. So I always
Right.
wanted to pursue something like the other side of things, my other side. I wanted to show it to people and share it with people. So I had set up a label and a project called Play Life Project, which
Mhm.
supports the homegrown Indian talent, because I see a lot of electronic music producers in India, but they're not getting a good platform to showcase their talent. All I see is, big names from abroad. All the international big artists, only they are the ones who are popular among the masses. But I wanted something for the Indian homegrown scene, something that we can call our own. So I set up a record label, Play Life Records. So yeah, that dream also came true. So many goals I've had over the years. Slowly
Right.
and steadily, if you work towards it, with passion and focus, it all can come true.
I'll just summarize. One thing I got to know that it's not just about music that you get into it, but anything that you do, you just get into it deeply, right? Like a T-shirt.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely. Everything. Every minute thing you do.
so for all the people who are watching this video right now,
Mhm.
as Nikhil rightly said, that whenever we have a task in hand, a project in hand, we set our visions. Don't worry about having multiple visions. Like the way he had multiple visions, he had a vision about his fan base, he had a vision about setting up his own store, he has a vision about many other things. So all those goals were parallel being executed. So you can have many goals.
Sky is the limit. Dream bigger. Don't ask God for less burden, ask for stronger shoulders, like they say.
Right,
So
right.
dream big.
Dream big. So now, when we have covered the vision part, or goal part,
Hmm.
whenever actually you've covered this answer a little bit in your last answer. Whenever you set a goal for yourself,
Hmm.
do you also set your missions? Like these are things that I'll do to achieve my goals.
Hmm.
Do you really formalize them, or it's in your mind? How do you do it?
I think, of course, I do plan, but plans don't always go according to how
Okay.
you perceive them. So I do make goals, I do make time frames, but life is so busy. A lot of multitasking is happening, so many parallel projects happening at the same time. So it gets really challenging. Sometimes I fall back on my goals, but then the most important thing is to not give up. You have
Uh,
to persist. You have to be patient. Everything's not going to fall into place all of a sudden. You need to keep pushing towards your goal. You need to strive. You need to be persistent.
right,
There's no other way.
right. But you still try to align your things so that you can reach on it.
Right. So some people, they just leave it midway, because things didn't happen for them how they expected, so they just give up. So that's not the right attitude. You need to persist. You need to persist. You need to work. You need to fail. You need to work again. Be very patient about this. Patience is, I think, the key. Patience and perseverance, the two P's.
You have always been persistent. That I can assure for sure. All the person over here, I can see you that always you're into something new and something constantly working on.
As I always say, it's all God's grace, man. All these ideas come from up there.
Yeah,
Who am
but
I just pursue them, but it all comes from the above.
okay. It's actually sunset time. There's a lovely sun over here. It's nice.
Must be nice in Bangalore, but it's really hot here in Delhi.
So the weather is nice over here. Yeah.
So here it's very hot, bro. The worst part is the aircon in my room is not working, and it's a
Really,
lockdown, and nobody's here to fix it.
Bangalore started working a little bit now.
Yeah. Okay.
People have started moving, and You just
it
started
gets
working.
it gets a little pleasant some days, which is unlikely. It doesn't happen that often in Delhi. I've noticed in May, you don't have a pleasant weather, but surprisingly, because of the lockdown, the temperature and the weather has also changed a bit.
This lockdown was Mother Earth theme.
Mother, yeah, we needed that reboot button. Earth
It was
needed that
so
reboot button.
So, Nikhil, now that we have spoken about you setting your goals and then your missions to achieve your goals,
Hmm.
some very difficult questions that I want to ask you because this is a scenario that you see with many brands, whether it is a DJ or a brand or a company. So, you reach, you work hard, and then you reach a certain point in your brand life that you
Mhm.
started really well. You know?
Mhm.
And then suddenly something happens that the brand goes down. For example, Nokia.
Mhm.
1997, for around 10 years, Nokia ruled the whole market and suddenly they went down and today nobody knows Nokia.
Mhm.
I have seen one thing in you is that you have always been very persistent in whatever you are doing. So what is your mantra about it? What is your take on this?
It's a pretty simple mantra. You just need to change and adapt with the changing times. You need to be up to date with what's happening in the music industry. If you talk about technically, what are the new plugins or what are the new DAWs, what are the new features, and overall, how, because there's a major shift in the music industry now. Everything has gone digital. It's all about streaming now. So I think you need to learn. Uh, okay, you're performing, you're an artist, but you need to constantly learning and follow the new trends and keep moving and adapting to the changing times. That's the key if you want to stay relevant for a long time. Nokia didn't do that. That's why they're in the situation they're in.
So that is what I like about that word brand. It can encapsulate anybody. Like you are an artist, you do the same thing that a brand product should have done. You keep innovating, you keep adapting.
Innovation, yes, that's the word. Innovation. You need to
Yeah.
innovate.
Because now the world is changing so fast. If you
Right.
still stuck to your old school ideas and thoughts, it becomes very difficult for somebody, individual brand or a
Right.
product
Right.
brand, a service brand, to really cope up
Exactly.
with competition of the
So
world.
the branding strategies have also changed over time. The way you market yourself as a musician. Like for example, earlier we had Facebook was the epicenter for every artist. Everybody has invested a lot of time and energy into building their Facebook fan pages. But look at it now. It's rendered useless now. There is no organic reach. There's no way you can connect with your fans.
Right.
So things are changing. Then there's a new trend called TikTok.
Huh.
However, I'm still finding a way how to create
Are you
content
on
for that platform. I am, but it's a very big challenge to be there. It takes a lot of hard work besides music because I couldn't find a way something related to my profession to use as
right?
a content on TikTok. It's more about dancing, singing, doing something funny. So I
Okay.
saw, I felt something that really I could relate to was some quick magic tricks using editing techniques. So I did
Oh
a.
yeah. Oh, one
You
of the
saw that
magic
video?
tricks. The doubles up, the note doubles up.
Yeah, right. So that's a video editing technique. That's something I knew I got to learn. So why not? So I learned that. I posted that
Like,
online. That went viral. So that's something fun that I like to do. But
yeah.
I cannot like totally focus on TikTok right now because there's a lot of music to be done. You don't have to entirely just focus on building your online presence. Making music is more important, but these are things that should
Eventually, your
be
product.
continuing on the side.
Eventually, your product is your music, and you're constantly
Absolutely.
your music product. You're
Absolutely.
constantly doing well
Absolutely.
in the product. That goes without saying, right?
That should always be the prime focus. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
cannot ignore the marketing side of things either.
yeah.
Your
I was
social
talking to
presence means a lot now.
somebody the other day, and my friend told me that it's all about the idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about if you have a great idea, you have a
Mm.
successful business. I actually didn't agree completely with him. Idea is definitely important, but I guess how the idea is executed is more important. So there's a long debate on that.
Absolutely. I feel everybody has ideas. It's the execution that matters the most.
Right. So like many people have ideas, it remains as an idea forever if you don't execute it
Right,
properly.
right. So there are things, like I had an idea. I have like, if you talk about long-term goals,
Yeah.
one of them is electronic show. That's an arena show that I designed back in 2013, I think. Yeah, I started doing a lot of visuals and special effects when I perform a concert. So the vision that I have for it, I haven't been able to achieve it right now because there are a lot of challenges. There's a lot of big production involved, technicalities involved, a lot of money is required to put up that kind of show. So
Mhm.
yes, the vision is there, but there are certain difficulties that a person faces in execution also. But then again, like I said, you have to be very patient with your goals, and you have to just keep persisting and keep improving it. There will,
Not give up.
yeah, not give up at all.
Yeah.
So one fine day, you will be able to achieve that goal. Might take you 10 years also. Every goal is different. Every goal has a different timeline.
Very right.
All
Yes.
you can do is just work hard.
So Nikhil, I'll come to one very important question. Is out of business, out of being a artist,
Hmm.
we all are achievers. We have achieved things in life. We have achieved so much in the music industry. Now, was there a point in life where you ever felt that I need to take it easy and look into different angle of life? Have you ever felt like that?
I have. I have, in fact, the other project that I spoke to you about, the Play Life project.
Yes.
That was actually born when I was on that kind of a phase because
Okay.
I had achieved all my goals. The numero uno, being the number one Bollywood DJ, doing Bollywood movies. So that was one phase where I thought, what different can I do? That's how the Play Life project was born.
Right.
So that's what keeps you going. New goals, new aspirations, new challenges. That's very important. That keeps your passion fueled.
So I also personally believe that there's a lot of joy in giving and sharing. So
Right,
what
right,
what is
absolutely.
what is the take on that, Nikhil?
Absolutely. Once you achieve something in whatever career or profession you are in, you should always help the others around you reach their goals and aspirations as well. So, because when I was growing up, I didn't have anyone teach me music production, and neither there were schools. So I learned it the hard way. I learned it with trial and tests, and I made a promise to myself that when I'm in a good position, I will give it back to the industry. So that's when I opened my academy in Delhi. I established that in 2011. So
Mm-hmm.
where all the aspiring DJs can come and learn. It's like a community of artists that hangs tight together. We help each other out. So there are a lot of courses people can enroll for. So I gave almost 5 years personal time teaching students one on one. But then later my schedule got busier, so I used to just take master classes. And but now I'm again starting a mentorship program where I'll be helping all the young and upcoming DJs, give them a direction and help them achieve their goals.
Very nice. Really like that actually. I have also been trying to do a lot of one-to-one mentorship with the new entrepreneurs, and in fact, this YouTube channel that I have launched recently has born out of those mentorship. Because when I started mentoring people, I realized that there are many common things that I could
Yeah,
identify.
everyone, there are common questions and
Which
difficulties that
people
entrepreneurs
or
face.
know. So I thought, why don't I, create a video of all
Right,
those questions and things that I feel should be good for somebody to do as a brand.
right,
That's how I started this my YouTube channel. And then
right.
I realized the next step is that it's just me speaking about things. It becomes very textbookish. But
Hmm.
when the real heroes come on the show and share their life, it becomes more convincing, because for example, you're in my show today and you have done things and you are inspiration for many DJs in the country. When they hear the non-musical business side of NYK, so they would
Hmm.
also aspire and they would know how to look into.
Right. And I'm actually glad that you've taken this initiative, Kay, because a lot of musicians, artists, DJs, they just focus on the music side of things, not knowing how you have to brand yourself as an artist, which is most important.
So Nikhil, what would be your strong tips for the new generation?
Uh, for building a successful brand, is that what you're asking?
For being a successful person?
Successful person, I would always say, like, you have to be very patient and you have to persevere. You have to work really hard. There are no two ways about it. There are no elevators to success. You have to take the stairs one step at a time. So I see a lot of youngsters are in a rush to suddenly, achieve big success overnight or become famous or make shitloads of money.
Right.
So that's very basic. Everybody should follow this, of course. But if you talked about brand side of things, I would suggest that every artist should find a USP for themselves, something that your fans can only get from you. So
Stands out.
developing, you need to stand out. You need to have your own sound, and do what the 99% of artists are not doing.
Right.
Rather than doing what the 99% of people are doing, you rather do something, that no one else is doing. So that's very important. And I think telling your story to your
Right.
fans is also very important,
You have
because
a story. Yeah.
because a strong story always resonates with people. That's how they'll connect to you. So tell your story, share it online. Don't really worry. Like, I went through a very rough phase in my life, a relationship that went wrong. So I was at a very low phase in my life. So I shared it with people, and that was actually the most liked post on my Instagram, because
Really?
everybody connected with the story. It was real, it was authentic. So that's another thing. Every artist should remain authentic. Just be yourself. Don't try to portray yourself as something that you're not, and don't try to be someone else, because you need to have your own identity. Develop your image. Like I said, the way you dress is important, the way you talk is important, the way you respond to your fans, that's also very important. And be consistent. Consistency, I would like to add, with patience, perseverance. You need to be consistent as well, because there is a lot of power in consistency.
All right.
So your fans should have the same experience when they come to your show every time. So
Right.
be consistent with that. If you give them something else, they might not like it. So be consistent. I think
Nice.
that's a lot of tips.
No, that's a lot of free tips actually. I'm sure people will be glad to hear that, because many people who would like to be someone like you in the future, yeah, for them it's like a very open tip to them, and I'm sure they'll benefit out of it. What
So
make you like?
one thing I'd like to add here is, like, how would you realize that you've built a brand? I'll tell you from my personal experience. When I used to make remixes, people they never saw my face, because there was no Facebook, YouTube, or anything else.
Right.
So people used to tell me, we heard a song and we knew it's yours. So I think that's branding for an artist. If you can have a
That's very
sound that
nice.
people, without knowing it's you, they know it's you.
So your music was giving a picture of you, right?
Yes, so that's when I
Wow.
thought, yes, this is something what a brand stands for.
Yes, absolutely a brand. As I say, the perception, it promised, and you have delivered everything throughout. Even when the starting days of your production, I remember whenever I hear a track, even if I don't know your tag, I'll still say, "Is this Nikhil's track?"
Yeah.
Very nice. And then one very good take that for the people watching this video is that Nikhil said that have a very strong story. It is very important to have a story many times, because a story is the why you are actually DJ, or why you want to do whatever you are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless and until you have a story to tell the people, then you may not be able to connect emotionally, as Nikhil rightly said. So please have a great story and have an authentic story. You don't have to create a story.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, have an authentic.
Don't create it. Be
Don't
authentic.
have a full story.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of tips. He said you have to be consistent. You have to, because consistent is something that will not show up on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like working out. When you go for a workout, you will not show up on the first day. But if you work out for a year, it'll show up on you.
Absolutely. So, that's the power of consistency.
It's the power of consistency. So you have to wait. You have to be patient, as Nikhil said, and perseverance throughout. Always keep doing, keep innovating.
And then everyone needs to remember that everyone starts from zero.
Right.
So if you're on YouTube, you'll start from 0 subscribers. Bhuvan Bam also started with 0 subscribers, and then built it consistently.
Right. I see you a lot very active on your YouTube, and there's a lot of nice stuff that you put up in your YouTube.
Yeah, that's like one of my another goals that I want to achieve in near future is like have 1 million subscribers. So that's what I'm striving towards.
You're halfway done.
Yeah, I have to halfway. Yes.
Yes, very nice. But you are one of the rare ones in the country who've been around 0.5 million followers.
By God's grace, I think I would give the credit to YouTube itself. They gave me an award for surpassing 1 lakh subscribers. So that's when, I felt really encouraged. This is really good. And I was lucky because the copyright issues were also sorting out on YouTube, because earlier it was very difficult to upload your music
Right.
on YouTube because there was a lot of copyright infringement issues there. So I'm glad
Right.
it was sorted and things have picked up. 5 years down the line, how you want to see yourself. I would like to see myself as a music director in Bollywood and more global contribution from India to the world, represent India on a global level as an artist. That's
Wow.
what I'm striving towards.
Yeah, that is very important. We need Indian artists to have a global presence. Actually,
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm sure you remember we spoke about this many years back. That Nikhil, you need to focus on the global.
Absolutely.
Scene, you know?
I remember we were at your place in Bangalore after party.
Yeah, right. So Nikhil, once again, thank you so much for taking out.
My pleasure, bro. Thank you.
All your fans will be watching this video, and all the people who are looking at making a successful brand, whether it be a DJ or your company or you're selling service or product, everything is the same. A brand works the same across the world. You have to, and so many things Nikhil has said today, and I'm sure all of you must have benefited from all the tips. He is a guy who has achieved in becoming a brand, and coming from his mouth definitely is not theoretical knowledge. Once again, Nikhil, thank you so much for
My
being
pleasure,
here.
bro. My pleasure. Thanks for having me on the show.
Most welcome. Pleasure is mine, and I'll catch you up very soon when I'm in Mumbai.
Yes, bro.
Bye. See you,
Cheers.
bro.